Hey, what up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. The NFL draft is fast approaching, and so everybody wants to know, who should the Cowboys draft at 17? Well, they shouldn't draft anybody at 17. I'll tell you why in a moment, but first, thanks for watching, thank you for commenting, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for ringing the bell. That way you are always notified when I post a new video. So who should the Cowboys take at 17? Nobody. Why? Well, because they should package the 17th overall pick and next year's second round pick for strong safety Jamal Adams. Stop me if you've heard this before. It's the rumor that won't go away because Jamal Adams continues to be frustrated with the New York Jets, his current team. Last year he was frustrated because they were shopping him around. And now this year he's frustrated because, well, they haven't given him an extension yet. So like Dak Prescott, Jamal Adams is threatening to sit out the virtual off-season training programs for the Jets when they start. So why revisit this trade now if you're the Cowboys? Because Jamal Adams is 1 year closer to free agency, which means that the leverage the Jets had last year in trying to trade him has been diminished this year because he's 1 year closer to free agency, and without an extension, are they really going to invest in him in the future, or are they going to let him walk without getting anything for him, beyond a compensatory pick? Last year, the price was a first and 2 seconds, reportedly. So if you're the Cowboys, offer the Jets the same deal you wouldn't offer the Seahawks for Earl Thomas. A first and a second round pick. Trade the 17th pick in this year's draft and next year's second and get a safety that will completely change your defense. Go get Jamal Adams. Be aggressive enough to make a move that puts you over the top. Do something for your fan base that shows that you're trying to do something you haven't done in 2 decades. Because if you're the Cowboys, since the last time you won a Super Bowl, you built your franchise in 2 different ways. The first was in a reckless, aggressive, and downright stupid manner, where you just traded away picks, had bad drafts, didn't invest much in the draft, and then gave bad contracts to bad players. Not exactly the best way to go about it, but they were aggressive. In the last decade, the Cowboys overcorrected. They have put all of their eggs into their draft basket and have done absolutely nothing or very little scotch in terms of trying to improve their roster dramatically through free agency or trades. Amari Cooper being the lone exception to that. So why not just go a little bit more towards where you were in the early part of the 2000s when you had a reckless, aggressive style? Less reckless. The truth of the matter is the Cowboys haven't even played for an NFC Championship game in 2 decades. It's time for this organization to finally take a risk, to finally do something that tries to put them over the top and go get Jamal Adams, who's one of the best safeties in football. But I say safeties, and that's not even an adequate description of what Jamal Adams is. If you're watching this video right now, like, Jamal Adams, who needs a strong safety for that much of a cost? Jamal Adams had 6.5 sacks for the Jets last year and 10 tackles for loss. He was second on the team in sacks and led the team with tackles for loss. The year before that, 2018, he only had 3.5 sacks, but he had 9 tackles for loss, which was second on the team. He's a safety on a team that has some decent defensive linemen, and he is leading the team or second on the team in sacks and tackles for loss, which gives you a pretty good indication of the type of player that he is. He is an absolute playmaker, not in the same degree that Earl Thomas was, but he's also just 24 years old. So trade a first and a future second for him, sign him to a long-term extension, and make a move that satisfies the idea that you've been selling to your fan base for quite some time. And that is that you're going all in.